Hey guys, it's Felipe. So, I've always kind of spent most of my time on YouTube editing a lot of really condensed short videos, but now I'm kind of more getting into vlogging. I don't really consider myself a routine vlogger, but trying to just kind of be more open about things and about my life, because I guess now we kind of have a following maybe. But so here are just 50 facts about me. Got them right here. I grew up in Miami, Florida, 305 for life. Moved twice, but I never actually left. I did cross country for 5 years in high school, 8th grade included, and I did lacrosse for 2 years. Loved both of them. Growing up, I had a chow chow named Genovia. She was my absolute best friend, and I miss her so much. My favorite thing since childhood is roller coasters, and still to this day too. What I always used to do in art class was draw roller coasters all the time, and my art teacher grabbed all my drawings and threw them on the table in front of my whole class and said, roller coasters, roller coasters, roller coasters. Is that all that you draw? You need to draw something else. And to this day, I'm still waiting to prove her wrong. My favorite theme park ever is Universal. My favorite ride is Revenge of the Mummy. My dream park would be Cedar Point. My second favorite thing is editing movies and just being on the computer, and I always love having something to work on. I started playing with my sister's camera when I was about 9, and I got really hooked on it. To this day, I still struggle a lot between engineering and film because I love roller coasters, but I also love editing movies. And I thought about going to film school, but at the end of the day, I wanted to pick something that had a little bit more stability, and that's nothing that I don't like the film world at all. I think it's great, but I wanted to pick something that I was a little bit less comfortable with. I'm French, Vietnamese, Cuban. A lot of people can't figure out what my ethnicity is until I tell them. They know that I'm kinda Asian at some way, but they don't know what. My favorite food would be Vietnamese pho, delicious soup, or a banh mi steak. My favorite restaurant in Miami has to be Locale, with a K. It's awesome. My favorite area of Miami would be Coconut Grove. My favorite music would be electronic for sure. I love EDM, I love house, all of that. I like all types of music, but mostly EDM. My favorite artist, definitely Timid. I don't know if you guys know him, but really good. And Odessa. Love that. My favorite song ever, ever, is Sun Dream by Rufus the Soul. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I can listen to that song just over and over and over again to this day. Absolute best. I'm not a huge fan of rap music, but I know every single lyric to The Real Slim Shady by Eminem. Favorite car? Audi. My favorite movie is The Hateful Eight by Quentin Tarantino. My favorite clothing store is Hollister, and that's actually one of the reasons why I worked there for 2 years, and I love that 50% off. If I'm at home and I'm not in my comfy clothes, then I'm extremely irritated. I know fluent English, about intermediate Spanish, need to work on it, and really basic Dutch.
Hallo allemaal, voor degenen die mij niet kennen, ik ben Felipe Dupi en ik ben al 2 jaar Menno's vriend.
If you guys don't know Dutch, that's the language they speak in the Netherlands. It's really hard, it's really rough, and I have no background knowledge for it, but the language barrier in Holland is so rough that I need to work on it.
Ik hou van jou, Menno. Bedankt voor alles. Gefeliciteerd.
I need to be able to speak it if I'm going to continue my relationship with Menno. I am 5'10" and the tallest one in my family. Not saying much. There is a 7-inch height difference between Menno and I'm super proud of it. I have one sister by blood, and then I have some really awesome step-siblings. My dad died 8 months ago, and if you guys have any questions on that, that's a whole other video of its own. I pushed a lot of people away because of my feelings towards guys, and I've made a lot of mistakes. I've done a lot of things in the past that now I consider extremely cringeworthy. I know a lot of people have talked shit about me in high school, but to be honest, I'd probably do the same. Menno was my 3rd internet friend that I had met at the time, and we were just friends, and we didn't know that the whole thing would blow out of proportion and we would actually become boyfriends at that time. Before I met Menno, he was actually almost entirely what I thought would be my dream guy. And I sometimes have to stop and think just about the ridiculous odds of how everything worked out in our favor and how we actually were able to meet and start this crazy relationship that what it is. Since my map of the world is always right next to my bed, I'm always debating if I want to start putting pins into places I've actually been. And I can know probably most countries in the world by now just because I've seen this so many times. There's nothing more that I love than just a really intimate conversation or those nights that you'll never forget. I thrive in the evening, total night owl, and I have a lot of problems going to sleep, which Menno is out by like 11 or 12 at night and he falls asleep in minutes. I have no shame in jamming out some of my favorite songs, whether I'm with friends or whether I'm alone. My biggest insecurity is that I look really young. I'm gonna be 20 next year. Does this look 20? I don't like alcoholic drinks. Every time I drink anything, I'm like... And if I ever do like alcoholic drinks, probably the fruity ones. I always drink water. I rarely drink soda or juice, but I am really addicted to putting ketchup on a lot of stuff. For music, I save the moment and the memory along with that song, and so when I listen back to it, it can either remind me of that moment or a specific time in my life. I'm extremely big on nostalgia. I'm really kind of over-the-top romantic sometimes, and I do try to spoil Menno when I can. One of my favorite things I've done growing up was just going out by myself, doing whatever, or going out by the ocean, or just finding a beautiful place and just sitting there by myself and just being in my thoughts. I have the entire next year planned out. I like to know if I'm traveling, what I'm going to be doing, any fun things that I'm up to, where I'm going to be living, all of that stuff. I used to be really nervous about sharing my videos online, and I sometimes get embarrassed or I would get worried about what people would think. But now I realize that a lot of people do like a lot of my videos and my editing, and I'm actually excited to be more open about it and to make lots of new projects. And even though I am doing engineering as my major, this is also like my little escape that I love to do. And I really love all the feedback, and thank you guys so much for everything. And I'll try and get Menno around here more often so we can do some more videos. But